Showtime.
Hey,
Amir.
Don't forget to subscribe to Sharonatsea channel. Thank you.
Happy Cinco de Mayo, Sharon.
You remembered.
I did. How can I not remember? It's such a special occasion.
I actually reminded you last night because you had forgotten.
I did forget.
Wait. I was like, tomorrow.
Listen, we've been busy. We were on a cruise all week last week, and all of a sudden, I can't get home from a cruise, take a day or two, and then all of a sudden go back into a party mode. So to celebrate Cinco de Mayo, I'm going to disappoint everyone. Let me get in the chat so I can see their comments. I'm disappointing everyone by having some water. I'm trying to rehydrate. I'm trying to get the get in top physical condition because I have a hot date next weekend as well that I cannot miss. So did I make it? Chips to you both. Jan rules, you made it, and thanks for the chips. We appreciate it.
I was actually going to make a margarita for myself, but I didn't have time.
You know what? Those are the kind of excuses that no one out there wants to hear about. Am I right or am I right?
I know.
The fourth was with us yesterday. Wendy Johnstone. It's funny you say that because Matthew and I were on a Star Wars tear last week where he turned me on to the prequels, and I had never seen any of the 3 Star Wars prequels. And the third prequel was playing at his theater as like a special showing, an anniversary showing. And he said, "Gay, you want to go with me?" And I said, "I would love to, but I haven't seen him." And he said, "What? I can't believe you haven't seen him." So before the cruise, we were having a crash course in Star Wars prequels. So I'm all up on my May the 4th be with you and all that good stuff. So yeah, Richard Van Den Aaron said 4th, 5th, 6th. It's all the same. You are so right, Richard. You're so right. You get old like us, and it's like whatever. We just want to get past holidays, birthdays, bar mitzvahs. Yeah. We just need to move past them all. And there you go. Richard actually said, "Let's all go cruising." There you go. Buffalo Trace on the rocks. Now that's a great way to celebrate Cinco de Mayo. I'm sure somebody in Mexico drinks bourbon, right? Sharon, how are you doing? I haven't shut up since the live stream started. What's going on in your head today?
Let's do with that. Everything's great. We had a great cruise. I'm sure some people are in the chat here that was on the cruise with us.
Yes.
So yeah, we got home. We're recovered now for the most part, and
some of us more than others.
Yeah, I guess.
Yes.
Although my voice is still not totally back.
You were screaming a lot on the cruise. You were cheering. You were yelling at some of the people in the group. They were misbehaving. You had to set them straight.
Well, my voice went out before the cruise, and it came back, and then now it's like all.
And now it's gone again. Leanne Francisconi says, "You're looking good, Sharon." Sharon, are you looking good tonight? Let me take a look here because I got the chat up. Let me look at you. Oh, you are looking good. You got fresh cruise hair.
You have your new
You're
shirt
going on. I got a new cruise shirt. Cruising the Bahamas. Sharon got me a Carnival cruise shirt. Hold on, I got an info commercial already here on my phone. People are already getting the ads. It's crazy.
I have one now too.
It's crazy. So listen, yeah, we had a great time. It was wonderful. We had a little bit of a group cruise. Kathy P said your hair is looking fabulous. Did you do something really special with it?
Your hair?
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
No, she said Sharon's hair. Kathy, I thought you were talking about my hair.
Well, thank you.
Eric Granger was out there. He had a great time on the cruise. Eric, we'll see how great a time you had if you book the next one. That's how we'll know. If we don't ever see you again, then we know that you're just blowing smoke at us. But I think you had a good time. I hope you did.
Yeah.
It was a pleasure. It was great meeting you.
It was.
Shayna Reed said your hair looks great, so I guess that's true.
Oh, thank you.
Party on the Seas. What's up? Debbie Shapkins is here. Mr. Z, hope you and Lindy Lou are doing well, especially Lindy Lou. Hope she's feeling better and getting back up to speed. Nautical Nurse Nancy's in the house, fresh off a family wedding.
I know.
She is soon to be Grandma Nautical Nurse Nancy. I have a feeling these things tend to happen when people get married, and next thing you know, boop, there's babies happening.
With 2 of them being married, I mean, hey, babies are going to be coming soon. Hopefully.
Yes, I think they're going to be right around the corner. Leanne is going to potentially be a grandma next year, or something like that. So we better write something into the. We got to call HR here at Sharonatsea and let these ladies know that there's no time off for extended family pregnancies. So we got to make sure that we get that locked down. That is for sure. Wendy Johnstone said, "Eric, it was great to meet you. cool dude.
Yeah.
He definitely was a cool dude.
Mike V says, oh, I missed it. The chat went up too far, but it's something about no dirty martini.
No dinner martini tonight, Mike V. Those two, Mike V. and I think we had two. There might have been a third one the last evening. Usually the last evening's kind of a mellow evening, right? Where it's just, like a dinner and a bye-bye, and then we kind of chill out and start to wrap things up. That didn't happen on this cruise. The last evening, Mike V. and I were drinking dirty martinis, and that turned it into a whole thingamajigger, and things got a little wild and crazy. There may or may not have been a bottle of champagne that we were chugging from. I can't confirm or deny.
Well, that you were chugging from. Everyone else had glasses to put their champagne.
They ran out of the glasses. What do you want me to do, huh? I was trying to do it where it didn't hit my lips, but we're all friends, aren't we? I mean, come on, what's the big deal? What is the big deal? Heidi Leskin said, glad my daughter gave me access on her tube subscription. Haven't had ads in like a year. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, we just said that same time. That's weird. All right, so listen, welcome to the live stream. Hope everybody is having a great day. It is Cinco de Mayo, so if you have your favorite beverage, let us know. What are you drinking? What are you eating? Are you celebrating tonight? Are you kicking butt on Cinco de Mayo? Are you in the festivities, or is it just another day? Let us know in the chat. And we're here to talk about, answer your questions about, and cover a little bit, not too much. We don't want to give it all away, but a little bit of our experience on a super old cruise ship that we traveled on a long time ago.
Yeah.
What was the name of that ship, Sharon?
The Elation.
Carnival Elation.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, I mean, right out of the gate, I'm not going to lie, I had a great time.
Yeah.
Great time.
I'm trying to think of what other old ships we've been on.
Volendam.
Well, I know Volendam, and then we were on the Inspiration several years ago, which was about as old as the Elation, the same class of ships, and we enjoyed that pretty much.
Yeah,
I think I
got to put my specs on so I can see the chat.
Although I like Holland American, I love the Koningsdam, but I'm gonna say I think I enjoyed the Elation more than the Volendam. Definitely. Felt like there was more to do.
There was way more to do. I mean, one thing that I really liked was, all right, so you get on the Carnival Elation, and we haven't been on there in, 23 years, right? The ship's 27 years old. So we're thinking, okay, it's an old beater. We even had a person that we saw, I forget his name, nice guy. He came up and said hi, and that he, had watched some of the videos and stuff. And he goes, what are you guys doing on an old beater like this ship? I said, well, my friend, this was our honeymoon ship from 2002. We were on there, another couple, the Renalos, who were still on the ship. I'm kind of angry about that. It was one of their first cruises, or their honeymoon cruise.
Yeah, their honeymoon.
Something like that, too. So it just has a little special meaning. We hadn't been back in a while, so we said, let's check her out. And I'm going to tell you what, she looked as good. I think it looks better today than it did back then.
No, I don't remember a lot of it back then.
I remember it was yesterday, Sharon.
Well, I remember the atrium area, the look of that, and a little bit in the casino, because I remember we spent some time in there, and a few things like that. But I don't remember everything, like the outside, the pool area and stuff. I don't remember. Well, it really wasn't exactly the same back then because they didn't have the Red Frog rum bar and the Blue Iguana, and Guy's Burgers and all that back then. And
yes.
Added all that later, so some of that was different, but it was great. The staff were very attentive. They were very friendly.
Yes,
they seemed happy, working. You do get on some cruise ships nowadays, and the staff doesn't always seem that happy. And
they seem a little indifferent.
Yeah, and
well, I'll tell you what. I think
they all seemed happy.
If it's a testament to the captain. And, of course, my new good buddy, the staff captain. I don't know if Roger's out there, Roger Johnson, but we're like this with the staff captain now. We met him, and that was freaking awesome. But those guys were cool. The cruise director, Franco. Franco did a great job. The fun squad seemed to be pretty pumped up, and everyone seemed to be having a good time. But you're right. You would think on an older ship, people are going through the motions, but they're not. And the funny thing is I kept asking Sharon, when are we doing specialty dining? And what did you tell me?
There isn't specialty.
There's no specialty dining at all on the cruise ship. It's main dining room every night, or the buffet. And
but the main dining room did not disappoint me. In fact, I probably had a better main dining room experience on this cruise than I have on some of our other past Carnival cruises, even some of the newer ships.
Yes.
The wait staff was great. They brought us cheese and cracker platters. They brought them every night for dinner before our appetizers.
Well, I mean, we did ask for them.
Yeah, we
that's
did.
My,
but they
that's
always
my hot,
had
hot
them.
tip.
They always brought them, and they were just very friendly, very attentive, and I don't know.
Yeah. We had 3 good-sized
The food was
tables all next to
actually
each other,
good.
and they took great care of each one. It looked like everyone had a good time. Everyone was engaged and having fun. Really quick, Sandy Vermillion said, glad Matthew finally beat the girls at Catan.
Oh yeah.
right.
I think maybe the last day or something.
Yes.
He told me he finally beat them.
That was very nice of Jesse and Jenna.
Yeah.
Did I get the names right? Yes. They invited Matthew to play a little Catan.
Yeah.
I guess that's the name, the World of Catan, the game Catan,
Yeah.
Catan, the game, whatever. And he had a good time doing that.
Yeah,
and so that was cool.
loves games.
Yes, and Sandy and Mike were so great. We've been, listen, we've known of the Vermillions for a billion years, and we
Yeah.
finally got to see him and cruise with them. They had some family with him as well. Their aunts and Flo and Mr. Johnson. I'll go with that. I'm not sure if I got everybody's name, but I was pretty darn close. I was pretty close, so that was just awesome. Jimmy G, we see you out there. It's great to see you and Finn. And the funniest part was I still feel bad when first Jimmy G and his wife were saying in front of me, and I looked over and we were doing a slop pull, and moments earlier in the slop pull, someone came up to me and said, "Hey, is this the slop pull?" I said, "Well, it is, but it's for our group, and I don't think you're in our group."
Oh yeah, it was different.
And they're like, "Oh, okay." And then I turned around, and there was Jimmy G and his wife, and they were standing there. And I looked her dead in the eye. And for some reason, it went right. I think her hair was different than I remembered. I just blanked out. I go, "Hey, I'm not sure if you're in our group. Do I know you?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's my wife." I'm like, "Oh my god, what an idiot!" That was my bone.
God.
There's always a bonehead moment for me in every cruise, and that was the one. So more Jimmy than Jamie on that cruise. Gina Bird's got a question. Sharon, do you want to answer that question? What do you think? Equal parts Jimmy and Jamie?
Yeah, I would say equal parts.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Probably 2/3. 2/3 Jamie, 1/3 Jimmy.
That's a great
Actually.
that's a great number.
Yeah.
If you could have that every time, that'd be great. If you take out the pre-cruise get together, the pre-cruise afternoon, I guess. If you take that out of the equation, then I think 2/3, 1/3 will work.
Yeah.
The alcohol kills the germs, right? It does, Shana. It certainly does. It will do that. Rob from Life with Faber, what's going on, buddy? Lovely to see you here. Hope you and Faber are doing good. He says, I need to see the video of that thingamajigger. I don't know. Hold on. Which thingamajigger? Crack the whip, Jamie. Keep the staff in line. Richard, that's exactly what I do. I keep them all in line. Timothy Williams says, I got off Mariner of the Seas 2 weeks ago. It was a blast. Now on to Liberty in October. I hope that you left a few cocktails on Mariner of the Seas, my friend. And maybe I'll touch base on what I'm doing next weekend. I'll mention that a little bit later. All right, so Sharon, let's talk about it a little bit. So the overall vibe of the ship, right? You get on this ship. It's a small ship. It barely has balconies.
Oh,
it barely had any balconies on it.
Well, not my favorite, but one of my favorite things I will say is the elevators. You did not have to wait for an elevator. The only time we waited for an elevator was the very last morning, getting off the ship.
And that wasn't even that bad.
And that wasn't that bad.
Yes.
But every time you walked into the elevator, you push the button and boom, it's there. There weren't very many people waiting. They weren't crowded, for the most part. Once in a while, you might have several people on, but it was the greatest elevator experience.
Whatever. I think you can say that in all honesty. You're not even exaggerating. Roger Johnson said, Gina, I can neither confirm or deny there was a Jimmy sighting. Shana Reed, they had tacos for lunch to celebrate Cinco de Mayo. Mr. Z's having a Diet Mountain Dew. That's not really celebrating. Let's see. Stuffed bell peppers and water. Wendy Johnstone. Good job with the water. That's a good move. Corona, Sunbrew, and Lime. David Conan. That's a great choice. Let's see. Hold on.
Actually, I should have made something Mexican.
You made something Chinese.
I did. I made lettuce wraps for dinner.
Travel Cake Trip said Feliz Cinco de Mayo, eating chips and dip and sipping an ice cold iced tea. There you go. Rainy day in Central Texas, so just staying home, said Will G. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. Aaron 2's resting my liver for the next cruise, just chips for me tonight. Beverly Juke is trying a peach margarita that I'm bringing to book club tomorrow for the ladies.
Oh.
What's the chance Beverly drinks it all and there's none left for the ladies? Could that happen? It might happen.
Maybe. It was so nice seeing you, Beverly, in Jacksonville the night before the cruise.
That was super cool. She stopped by to visit and say hi. I know, Beverly, I'm sorry I wasn't particularly interactive. You were at one end of the table, I was at the other, and it just worked out that way, but it was still awesome to see you.
Oh, and I just saw your Facebook message. I think you sent earlier today, and I will get back to you after the show.
There you go.
I haven't had my phone on
Sharon, no one wants your
I've been on the phone this way all day, so I haven't really seen Facebook from.
Stephanie said, I'm celebrating my last day as a 38-year-old, sipping rosé and continuing birthday before Carnival Dream on May 11th. Very nice. Happy birthday to you, Stephanie.
Yes, happy
tomorrow.
birthday.
Bill Leach in the house. Jamie Wilhite says, hello, Sharon and Jamie. Working on a scrapbook for my granddaughter's graduation from NAU on Saturday.
Oh.
Congratulations on the graduation. And
That's
I'm
nice.
sure it will be amazing because I've seen the work you do and you are freaking fantastic. So.
I'm sure she'll love the scrapbook.
That's
all
great.
The memories.
Nancy said, it looked like you were so happy. You were sailing with a great group. It was really neat. You know, we love doing the group cruises. Some of them can be very big. Some of them are very small.
This was a great size.
Oh, gosh,
because
it was great.
There were a few people that we've cruised with before that we knew, and there were some new people that we had never met before. So, and everyone got along. Everyone made new friends, and it was great.
Lindy Lou said, I'm in a rehab hospital, so I get Mexican ice chips.
Oh,
What do? You put a little salsa on those things, Lindy Lou? I'm just glad to see Lindy Lou out and about. Good to have you here, sweetie. I would do it back-to-back on the Elation. That's what Mike V said. Heck yeah, I would too.
Yeah, I would too. Well, the Ronaldo stayed on. They did it back-to-back.
Yeah, they did.
And Julie did the first.
She did a front end back-to-back.
Yeah.
And I know the Ronaldos had a little something special to sip on for week 2. That's all I'm going to say about that. I would never break any rules. I would never break any rules. Just know that. And I'm sure they are knee-deep in the casino at about this point because they're 3 hours ahead of us. You know, first off, Jacksonville port. First time going out of Jacksonville. Cute little cruise port. Very simple, very smooth. But I will tell you this, Jacksonville, you need to get some kind of an elevator system because that whole ramp, it's like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 way up and down ramp. And it for someone who is, let's say, battling a bad hip, like moi, or something like that, it really set a precedent for being kind of worn down when you get on the ship. It was a struggle.
You know, I wasn't really expecting it to be such a walk like that, and it reminded me of Long Beach. If anyone's been out of Long Beach before, how you have to walk back and forth, and but it was a walk.
Is that it, Sharon? Is that all?
Hey, definitely got your exercise. I mean.
I don't want it. Listen, I don't want exercise 10 minutes before I get on the ship. I want to get on the ship and be ready to go. I don't want to get into the atrium and go, we made it. I don't need that. I want to get on there and go, we're here. Yeah, let's tear it up. I don't want to need a glass of water. I want to need a glass of beer. Let's see. Kate Snyder's here. What is up, Kate? Great to see you. So nice to see you.
I saw Wayne
out there.
He was in here
so
too.
that was awesome. You guys were a ton of fun.
Yeah.
And you know, everyone. When you get on the cruise and you meet new people, you know, you don't know what to expect. Everyone has a different thing. Some people are drinkers. Some people are not. Some people are smokers. Some people are not. Some people love cigars. Some people don't. Some people are a little quiet and shy. Some people are not. And then you get somebody like Kate, who, like, my first impression was, she's so sweet. She's going to be very quiet the whole time. She seems rather subdued. Super. I hope we're not a little too much for her. I hope we're not too rambunctious and obnoxious, especially me. And I believe it was at the end of the second night, she was slamming cocktails. She was insisting that we sing happy birthday to her over and over and over again. It was unbelievable. She came out on fire, and it was crazy. Gosh. So it was lovely to meet her. She was wild and crazy, that's for sure. That's for sure. Betty O said, went on Elation years ago. Police tape on doors, 2 doors down. Guy tried to throw girlfriend overboard.
Oh,
Wow.
my.
All right. So great, great segue. Let's talk about police, or in other words, security on the Elation.
A lot of the Carnival ships lately have been having issues, it seems like.
Oh, yeah.
Like every time you turn around, there's a new story about a fight on one of the ships. There's things going on. There really wasn't any issues on the Elation. There was a lot of security on this little ship. I mean, for it being a little ship, everywhere we walked, we saw security walking somewhere. Now, and I was like, wow, they have a lot of security on here. We were like thinking, is there something going to happen? Are they expecting something to happen? And then I think someone told you that it was actually a training ship for security for Carnival.
I mean, out of the gate,
that
we're like,
might be why there was so many.
I mean, they had the dogs. They had the dogs that were sniffing the bags in the terminal, right, as we came through, and they're doing that, I think, at with every Carnival.
But not
cruise
only
now.
this, not only in the terminal. So we got on the ship and we had gone to our room and we were kind of getting settled in, and then we had seen our bags on one of those racks still sitting in the hallway. They just hadn't gotten them to us yet. So Matthew went out to look to see how close they were. He was going to try to grab them. When he went out there, he said there were the dogs like going by and sniffing all the luggage. So they actually brought the dogs on the ship, and before they delivered the luggage to the cabins, the dogs were sniffing all the luggage again. So they were like really like a lot of heavy duty security and dog sniffing.
They were all over the place, and
I've never
everyone
seen the dogs on the ship before. I've seen them.
Everyone in our group was like, wow, this is, there's so many security here. And yet it was about halfway through, and I forget who told me, but they're like, I talked to somebody and found out that it is the training ship for security, which is great. But I mean, hey, that takes the Carnival Elation and makes it a super safe ship. I didn't see any fights.
Yeah.
Didn't see any misbehavior, anything crazy like that.
Was there any fights? CU Tiger said any fights on the cruise?
No, nothing. No fights on the cruise at all. Richard Van Den Aren, how many passengers on the ship? I think there's like 2,000. I think it's like 1,980 or something is what it holds. It was small. I mean, I think it was full. It seemed pretty full.
It was pretty full.
Dining room seemed full all the time and all that. I'll tell you what was full. The comedy club. Every night when I think every night we left dinner and walked down the promenade,
there was a line.
There was a line, 100 people deep, getting into that comedy show.
But they all seemed to get in okay. When you walked by later, they were all seated in there.
Yes.
So it wasn't crowded once you're inside.
Yeah, no, it was super cool. It was a great setup. I mean, I really enjoyed it. And speaking of enjoying it, Leanne Francisconi, I saw she was on the Adventure of the Seas. She was on an old ship herself. Yeah. With Brian and her son Nick, and she said that they had a great time. But it was a little, you get on the old under. Listen, I could see how if it's just you, like a husband, a wife, and a kid, and you go on an older ship, and you're like, man, there's not a lot to do. And maybe if Sharon and I, and it was just Sharon, me, and Matthew and Callie, maybe just the 4 of us on Elation, we might have been like, oh, what do you want to do now? There's not that much to do. But having the group there, it just made everything, that much more fun. And just sitting around chatting was a great time instead of just a little, a time of looking for something more interesting to do. So that's kind of a kicker too. And that's another reason why I love the group.
Place that it really seemed to be a little crowded was, of course, the Lido deck on the sea days. And it didn't really fill up as early. Like you got out there early the one day, and it took a while before it really filled up. But in the afternoon, it did fill up. But the place that I really noticed a lot of people was Princess Cays. We were the only ship there, and we got there pretty early, so there was a lot of empty lounge chairs when we got there. But by the time we left, or a little bit before we left, we kind of looked around. I was like, oh my God, this place is full. There's the lounge chairs are full, and it just seemed like where were all these people on the ship? Because the ship didn't seem that crowded.
Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe they were kind of confined in a smaller area. Maybe they were closer to the food, because I'll tell you what. All right, so we can talk about Princess Cays for a second. Out of all of our cruises, not only was it our first time leaving out of Jacksonville, but our first time going to Princess Cays, and it was kind of nice. It was all right. I'll tell you what, the alcohol service on the beach was freaking awesome.
I liked it. I thought it was kind of real relaxing, kind of mellow. It wasn't really a party type scene where we were. Like, we didn't really hear any real loud music, and like the service was good. The water was a bit chilly for me.
It may not have been a party
Because
scene, but you can talk
I'm
to the 6-pack of beers that were sitting next to my chair at the
Well,
end of the
I
day.
meant like you didn't see people like,
No,
sometimes
it
like a
wasn't
spring
wild.
break type thing where people are dancing and
No, it wasn't that
blasting and everything. But it was, yeah, I think another month or so the water would be fine, but it was just a little chilly still. But people got in it.
We got out there pretty early. That worked out very well. Everyone in the group was on point with knowing how to get off the ship, and there were a few platinum cruisers, so getting a good spot wasn't too hard.
Yeah,
and
we had a good spot.
But I will tell you one thing: Carnival has got to get that lunch figured out. Their lunch opens up at like 11 to 1 or something. I'm not sure, but there's 4 buffet lines to go through to get lunch, and these lines have 30 people, 35 people in each one of them. I mean, I went over there to go have lunch. I waddled over there. I say waddled because it's, I'm dealing with a bad hip and all that kind of stuff. So I got over there, had a beer, and started waiting in line. And I'm not lying that about 10 minutes into waiting, I was like, you know what, screw this. I'll be back on the ship in 2 hours, and I'll just get something to eat. And because the line was just so
it did go pretty
so
slow.
long.
I went over there, I think after
Yes.
you, and ended up getting something.
Well, I mean, like, if you want to get something to eat, we've been to Great Syrup Cay for NCL. I don't remember anything like that.
I mean,
Obviously, Coco Cay was a different vibe, but they have a whole different buffet layout as well that's just open to mingle through. It's not like a line to get through one thing and one thing only, and that was the thing that really kind of stunk. So if I had to be negative about anything about Princess Cays, it was the buffet line, or for me, the lack of going through the buffet line.
Yeah, and there wasn't a huge selection of things, but there was enough, but it wasn't. It was like a typical, I guess, Carnival buffet. They had burgers. The burgers were good, I thought. They had like some chips and salsa. They had some salads,
Yeah, wow.
and I think hot dogs and pulled pork, like pulled pork.
Sounds like a late night buffet.
Yeah. So, and then they had some little desserts, like they had the carnival cookies, they had some fruit and some like little brownie pieces or something.
There you go.
So nothing too exciting, but hey, it'll keep you from starving, I guess.
What's up, Ruth Todd? Ruth saying, hey, you two, long time no see. Sharon, your hair looks fantastic. Jamie, yours too. Thank you so much, Ruth. I appreciate that. Matt Bird said, I was telling Larry Bum, no one trusts your memory. Oh, Larry was bringing up 1 year ago, I may have witnessed someone sliding down the banisters to the atrium on the Firenze. Yes, that is true. 1 year ago today, Sharon, I don't know if you remember this, but Matthew and I were alone, unsupervised, on the Carnival Firenze with a bunch of friends, and I'm just going to leave it at that. If you were there, then you know, and you know.
Well, I was not there.
Jimmy G, you should be glad.
That's
1 year ago, can you believe
a
that?
year. Wow.
Jimmy G said, tried my first martini on the cruise, and I loved it. That is so good to hear. I'm so proud of you. So proud of you. I pray for relief from your hip. Thank you, Shayna. I will have relief on August 8th when they cut me open and insert my bionic hip. That's right, guys. Your buddy Jimmy here is scheduled for an official hip replacement August 8th, right after all the summertime cruising. So I will take all the kind words, blessings, prayers, and all that stuff. But hold off. I don't need them now. I'm cool. At that time is when I'll collect them all. Thank you. Just keep them off to the side. Let's see. Let's jump in the chat and see if we got any more things about the cruise. Roger Johnson said when we were at the airport, one of the locals was telling us they'll be building a new port on the other side of the bridge. Oh, that's kind of cool. Another cruise port for Jacksonville would be nice.
Yeah, I know the Norwegian Gem's going to start going out of there later this year as well, and into 2026 and 2027.
Yes, that's right.
And I wouldn't mind going on that older ship too. I really enjoyed going out of Jacksonville. So.
Stephanie has a question. Sharon, do you know why Galveston starts the beverage package on day 2? Why do they place a beverage hold on your card on embarkation day? Do you want to answer that, or do you want me to answer that?
Why do they start on day 2? It's because of the alcohol law with local for Texas. New York has it as well.
Yes.
And why do they place the hold on embarkation day? They probably just put the hold on your card on embarkation day because they they put a hold on your card probably for anything on embarkation day if you don't have any onboard credit and you have a card on file.
Assuming that's what you're talking about, Stephanie. If you're just talking about putting a hold in general for purchases, or if that's also has to do with the beverage package. Can I answer that?
Yeah, go
Because
ahead.
I'm not sure if you can. All right. So there are certain laws in Texas and also in New York with regard to taxes on alcohol that is not purchased and sold in Texas. And there are some cruise lines that and it has to do with because these cruise lines are selling packages and all you can drink packages and things like that. And that's kind of where the rules are. It's an underlying thing for the rules. And what Carnival does is Carnival has no drink package at all on day one. And they do that so they don't have to mess around with it. They don't have to worry about taxes. They don't have to worry about having certain alcohol available but not other alcohol and things like that. Other cruise lines, and even cruise lines under the Carnival umbrella like Princess and NCL or Royal, they will have certain menus of alcohol available. For instance, when we were on Princess recently...
But they still don't honor is it the drink package?
The drink package is honored. It is
that's
honored.
right. It was on Princess.
Yes, on Princess, they honor the drink package. But, like, for instance, if like Sharon went up and said, hi, can I get a margarita frozen? Or can I get a strawberry margarita? And they said, I don't have any strawberry frozen margaritas, but I can make you a regular one. And that's because they have limitations on what they're using, mixers, drinks, alcohol, and all that kind of stuff. So, like when we get on Mariner of the Seas on Sunday, there will be a limited menu for beer, bourbons, and different alcohols. And then once you get out to sea, then all the alcohol becomes available.
But I think the reason they put that hold on your card, though, is because with Carnival, you're paying for your drinks the first day. So... because your drink package doesn't start until the second day. So they put a hold probably when you get your first drink or when you're purchasing something.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm going to say honestly, I'm not sure what Stephanie means by the second part of the question.
Well, when you buy things, they do put a hold. Like, and I've never used a debit card on a cruise. We always attach a credit card, but I have heard that when you attach your debit card, that they will put more of a hold on it than a credit card. So that but they do put holds on your cards on Carnival.
Yes. Yes. Let's see. Okay. What else? Wendy Johnson said, what, Jamie, your nose just grew. I would never lie about anything, so I don't know what you're talking about. Heidi Leskin said, Jamie, you need to get that hip address. I am. I'm getting it cut open and fixed. Don't you worry about it. One of the Fun Squad members said that most of the departments use the Elation as a training ship. That's cool. Maybe that's why everything was so great, because there were so many people there. James, did you didn't get enough medication from the Captain's Club? Said Big Gene Snuggles. Oh, there were plenty of medication. Don't you worry about that. Let's see. Yeah, so Tweety saying, there might be a little bit of a culture problem, and then going on to say, I don't want to get treated like a misbehaving child while cruising. That's a turnoff for Carnival to me. What it is, listen, unfortunately, they do have a little bit of a culture problem on Carnival, and people just go on there to get crazy, and they don't care about anything else. Hello, sorry I'm late, said Sugar. I was doing laundry, finishing, unpacking, didn't realize it was that late. Sugar, it's okay.
Oh, yeah, she just got back from the cruise, too.
Eric Granger said it didn't feel sold out. I'll tell you what, Eric, up in that cigar and smoking area, it sure felt like it was sold out. That place was packed to the hilt every time.
Was it?
Well, every time I went by there. Eric would know better. He was up there having stogies quite often. So, let's see. What else do we have?
Oh, yeah, Wayne finally got his phone back. He didn't have his phone for the cruise.
Well, yeah, he said he doesn't like to have his phone. He doesn't want to be bothered with it. He likes to turn everything. He likes to shut everything down, doesn't he?
Oh, he forgot his phone.
That's all it was forgot it. I thought he left it at home on purpose because he didn't want to be bothered by it.
No, I think he
when he's on
forgot
vacation. Wayne, let me know which one of us is right. Did you leave it home on purpose or did you forget it by accident? I need to know. Mike V said we had a great time at Duke's Piano Bar 2 nights. As usual, you won't find me in a piano bar. It's just not my jam. It was the very best cruise Wayne and I have been on. The group made a difference, said Kate Snyder. Kate, that's great to hear. That is great to hear. Jimmy G said we enjoyed the group as well. Did it rain on your cruise? It rained in St. Thomas, but at the beach it wasn't raining. It was kind of crazy. I don't recall any rain. Well, we had an ocean view, so we wouldn't have been able to go on the balcony and enjoy any rain.
Well, let's see. It did get a little didn't it rain a little bit or kind of sprinkle or so when we were in Jacksonville, or we thought it was going to
I think so.
before
Maybe
we
a little
left.
bit. Maybe a
But
little bit.
I don't remember getting any rain on the actual cruise.
Yes. Yeah. So Tweety says you're not going to see me in any line for buffet, especially one on a private island. So or on Princess Cays. So that is true. And Kate Snyder said it was very cold. And she didn't make it in past her ankles.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I remember that because a bunch of us were in the water and we saw her coming in and we're like, come on, Kate, come on. And she's ready to come in. Then she's like, oh,
Yeah.
no.
And I got up
She
to like
said,
my
yeah.
waist
Yeah.
maybe. And then I was like, yeah, I had to turn back. It was too cold.
Big Gene Shungle says, cruise question, did Pizza King make money or give the dealers their bonuses in the casino? Let's get cruising. The Pizza King, he didn't do terrible, but he didn't make any money, but he didn't lose that much,
Yeah.
I feel like. I think he did pretty well.
He brought most of it back home because he lost. He was down to nothing, I know, at one point, pretty much. But then he played a couple more times and he won some money back, I guess. So he came home with a little bit of what he took, I think.
He did okay. I lost some money, but I had one night, though. One night I was on such a heater at Blackjack. It was my best run ever in Blackjack.
You didn't stop when you were
I didn't because I didn't lose at all. I cashed in, but then Matthew and I went and gambled some more for a while longer, and that's when I lost it all. So it wasn't Blackjack that I lost it.
I had a couple good nights, but then
You were doing good.
But then I had a bad night too, so I don't know.
You can't win them all, Sharon.
Yeah, but I came back pretty even.
I mean, you had such a big victory when you met and married me that it's hard to consider winning at anything since then. I'm just telling you out loud.
Jimmy G says, Sin says hi. Hi, Sin.
Hello, Sin. Can't wait to see you again and recognize you. Doug Thomas says, you are my Sonny and Cher of travel shows. I love the witty banter between you. Well, thank you.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, you know what I would say?
That's real. We banter at home. We banter
We're banterers.
on the cruise. We banter all the time.
That's right. Let's
That's
give
just
him a little
us.
something. I got you, babe. Is that Sonny and Cher? That's Sonny and Cher. Isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
Did they have that horrible pizza as part of the midnight buffet? Kevin, they did.
They did, yeah.
Yeah, I went one night. It was night 2, and I was up late. And this nice couple I was hanging out with dragged me by my earlobe to the late night buffet with them, even though I didn't want to go. And yeah, I mean, it's just like, man, that midnight buffet is just underwhelming. Well, you know, we mentioned that the food in the main dining room was very good consistently all the time.
Yeah.
And the service was fabulous consistently all the time. And when I say food, I mean the dessert, I mean everything. The only thing I think didn't go well is I think Annalise Snell had cold coffee one night. And that was the worst thing to happen all week. So it was great. But I will say that the buffet, it is a big stinker. And I saw some pizza that it looked okay.
The night buffet. The late
Yeah.
night buffet.
Well, no, the late night buffet and the buffet in general. If I'm being honest. Embarkation Day, the buffet kind of was like, eh.
Yeah. I went
and it
up
just
there.
wasn't great.
I saw Eric Granger said definitely need water shoes for Princess Cays. Yeah,
Yes.
it was a little rocky there. The buffet, I only went a couple times, but yeah, it was just your typical carnival buffet, kind of slimmed down, trimmed down a little bit, so there wasn't this like the first day there was bacon, but every day after that in the morning there wasn't bacon unless you went to the main dining room or ordered something somewhere else, room service or somewhere that had bacon.
There you go.
But and just there just wasn't a lot there, I guess. I don't know. And I always in the past I used to love the cookies on Carnival, but this is the first time that I really didn't eat that many cookies, and I was like, yeah, they're just okay, because since then I've had cookies on Holland America and Princess, and they're so much better.
But also Java Blue on the cruise ship. Java Blue had cookies that are $2.50 a piece, these big ones.
Yeah.
And they looked pretty good, but it's hard to pay $2.50 a cookie when you can get a bowl of them at the buffet, even though they're not as good.
But I don't think they're even as good as Holland.
Lucy,
Princess.
don't get too crazy over there. Sorry, the dog's getting a little crazy. Lots of people saying nice things for like hips. The people are like, yeah, I'm getting mine replaced. Shayna Reeves getting one replaced. Joseph Johnson hip replacement. Wishing you the best. I've had both my hips replaced.
Yeah. Oh, there's Jack Pettit there. Hey, Sharon and Jamie. Belda and I had a great time. I loved meeting
Jack, it was
Oh,
a pleasure
it
meeting you
was.
and Velda.
It was.
You guys were awesome. So nice to have you there, and I hope that you had a good time hanging out with the group. And let's see.
Oh, Sugar said no carrot cake on this cruise.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you have carrot cake?
Not
No,
your
there
no. I don't remember seeing
No.
any carrot cake.
Yeah.
Connie Shippey said it was so exciting to meet y'all on the Elation, maybe more in the time in the future. Connie and Denny from Savannah, Georgia. Thank you, Connie. That's very nice of you. We appreciate it. We had a couple people come up during the course of the weekend.
Yeah.
It's always fun and it's always a good time. Question: going on celebration, I guess service going to be a mess on embarkation. Is there another place to put cash on my account? Richard Ashley. No, I mean if you're putting cash on your account, you really just need to get down there as fast as you can on embarkation day.
Yeah. And now if you do have any onboard credit, I would say if you can use that onboard credit for whatever you're purchasing, drinks or anything that night, then wait until early the next morning and go to guest services and put it on. Then you won't have a long line. That's one thing. Or you can also pre-purchase cruise cash. So buy yourself some cruise cash ahead of time.
On the website?
Yeah, you
Carnival
can
website?
get it in increments of like $25, like 20, 50, whatever. And you can get cruise cash for just drinks or cruise cash that's like general cruise cash that you can use for anything. And buy that ahead of time, put it on your account, and then you'll already have some money on your account that you can use that first day or so until later when you go to guest services and you don't have to wait in that line.
And one more hot tip, and make sure you're listening to this one if you don't listen to any other one tonight. But on those newer ships, there are kiosks.
Oh, yeah.
Where you can
is
actually
awesome.
go to the kiosk and you can pull up the information from your Sail and Sign account. And you can also put money on your account using the kiosk.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
before you get in line, if the line's long, look around. Usually on that same level where guest services is, like around the corner, there might be an ATM and then a kiosk right next to it, or maybe like one level up, maybe near the elevators would be my best guess.
That's true.
when you
There are
find it.
kiosks, and sometimes there's a little line on those as well, but not nearly like.
What's got two thumbs and great cruise tips? This guy just right here, Sharon. I'm starting my new channel soon. New cruise tip channel. Let's see. Chris Moss says, I wonder how MSC will handle their drink package out of Galveston when Seaside starts sailing out of there. I'm sure that they will do it like Royal and some of the other ones do, and they'll probably just have a limited menu the first day out, and it's not really that noticeable.
Yeah, it's not that long. I mean,
yeah,
it's just
so-
by the time dinner's over.
Unless you're on Carnival, but
I mean, by the time dinner's over and everything, you're out in international waters for the most
yeah,
part,
no, you're right, and that's a great point. Is that usually by the time after dinner and once you sail for a few hours, everything kicks in, the new menu is available, and all that kind of stuff, and the drink package. So the Carnival drink package, I think it will kick in once you're out to international waters, doesn't it? Or no, not anything.
No,
so
it
it'll
kicks
start
in
the
the
next
day.
day, 6 a.m.
Yeah, because you don't technically pay for day one.
Yes.
Like on a 7-day cruise, you're only paying for 6 days, so it doesn't
Yes.
kick in until 6 a.m. the next one.
That's right. And also, when you're in port, you're going to pay tax on drinks. So you get 50, so you'll have that. And also remember, Princess actually gave us an onboard credit for each person that had a drink package to accommodate
For that time.
any charges or anything like that. So
so
that was kind of cool.
That's
too.
nice. Yeah, Princess will give you that onboard credit. It was
That's
25 per person.
Wayne Snyder says, I admit nothing. He's not giving us the info we need. He won't tell us who's right or who's wrong. Wayne, are you still red like a lobster? Said Wendy Johnstone. I've heard some crazy rules about MSC and their drink package. Like you can't have dinner at the same table with people who don't have the same package as you. That could be. You never know, so Tweety. You never know.
Yeah,
That can
MSC
happen.
does have a lot of different type of, I guess, rules and things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
It is a little different.
Josh Johnson said, my first cruise in 2011 was on Elation out of New Orleans, and it got me hooked on cruising. I wish I could have gone with you guys on this one. Well, that's very nice. See that? I mean, I'm sure that a lot of people were like, "Oh, the Elation. Yeah, I'd like to cruise with Jamie and Sharon and the group, but boy, the Elation." And turns out, if they said that, you know what? They missed a great time. It was It was one of my favorite 5-day cruises I've ever had. I can say that honestly. Honestly, I can say that. All right, let me see.
It went by so quick too. I mean,
I'm catching up a little bit here.
Quick.
I'm catching up in the chat a little bit. So
I see Beth there. Hi, Beth. Beth Ollinger.
Beth, is Doug? Did Doug make it back? She was waiting for Doug. Like I think she was in the cell phone lot earlier today.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Buffalo cauliflower on the midnight buffet was good. Whoa,
Oh.
Eric, hold on a second. Buffalo cauliflower? How did I miss that? Did I miss the buffalo cauliflower?
Maybe it wasn't on that night you went.
Maybe the tray was empty because that'll happen too. Those trays empty pretty quick there. That's the thing that I don't like about Carnival's buffet. They've got like 5 trays, and they're constantly they're only like this big. They're small. I mean, I don't. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
The pizza the pizza was okay. It was good, but it wasn't. There was something a little different than what Carnival pizza usually. I don't know.
Well, you were having a piece of pizza and you did a little short video. We just thought it'd be cute to do a short video with the pizza. And even in that video, I noticed the pizza looked a little off.
It just looked a little different.
It just wasn't the regular
I don't know
pizza.
that it really tasted that much different, but it just looked a little different.
Yes.
You know.
And if I'm being honest, Guy's Burgers was.
And I don't know. I didn't watch them make the pizza, but maybe they used more like grated cheese versus on the other ships they put the big clumps of cheese around on it.
Well, and one other issue that Matthew I think has, if you were to have him in here, is that there's a dedicated place for the Pizza Pirate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but on this particular cruise ship, the Pizza Pirate in the morning is used as an omelet station.
Yeah.
And that's a good tip too. If you're on the Elation, go to the Pizza Pirate for your omelet because the other omelet stations are full, but that one's usually empty. But it's used for an omelet station, so it's closed until like 10:30 or something like that, till it'll start making pizza. But on other ships where they just have an actual pizza place, you can get pizza earlier because there have been times where Matthew will eat pizza for breakfast. And I think it rubs them wrong when they combine the pizza place as an omelet station. It's like, come on, man. At least, keep the integrity of the pizza place alive. Don't start cooking omelets back there. The regular pizza served until 11 or midnight was good. The LNP in the buffet is horrible. You're right about that, Kevin. You are totally right.
Sugar said, "Oh my gosh, Sharon, how did you survive without carrot cake?" Yeah. Well, there were other things that were good, but yeah, I did miss the carrot cake. I love carrot cake just as much as the creme brulee.
You seemed a little cranky at times. That might have been. New Zealand pizza was kind of weird tasting, said Destroyer, which is Doug Ellinger. What's going on, my friend Doug? Nice to see you. We like the buffet pizza. We don't like the regular pizza. Buffet pizza reminded us of our school cafeteria pizza growing up. Everyone loved them. Pizza day was a sellout. Heidi, I know the pizza that you're speaking of, but I don't know if it's holding the same water at this point. Mary Barkley said hip replacement was a piece of cake. All right, Mary, well I appreciate that. I can't wait for mine, and maybe we'll have a big party afterwards to celebrate it. I don't know, we'll have the Arizona get together.
Josh Johnson said I was in Roatan recently and took the advice on Real Deal Roatan tours and had an absolutely amazing tour.
Great
Thanks.
to hear. That is great to hear.
I'm glad. They are
That
great.
is great. They had a kiosk by the casino on the Elation, said Jesse, for putting money on the account.
Oh.
Excellent, Jesse. Thanks so much for the feedback. We appreciate it. And thanks for letting Matthew win one of those games of Catan while you're at it. If you didn't do that, then we wouldn't have heard the end of it. Matthew's pretty vicious when it comes to board games. Sharon and I love a good board game as well. We're looking forward to maybe a little bit of Doomlings coming up here in the next month and a half or so on board a cruise ship. So, that's just me.
Wow.
When I'm on a cruise ship, there's nothing I want to do more than find a table to sit at.
I love to play games, so that Matthew gets that from me, I think, because I love to play games.
If it's by the bar, maybe.
It's just you don't like to play games with me. So I need to find other people to play games.
You're always playing games with me, but that's another conversation for another day. You were a little light on the creme brulee. People like the creme brulee every night party. That's what Kevin Brubaker said. If I have extra cash left over, I set aside a good amount for the room steward and put the rest on that ATM to get my final balance down some. No, you're right. Crazy Cat Chava. That's a smart way to go. It's very smart. You're very smart. And on the Elation, of course, the television in the room, although it's been upgraded to a nice
Yeah,
LCD
it
or
was a
LED
nice
TV.
big TV.
So that was great. And the
Picture
clarity
was clear.
the whole week
Yeah.
was fabulous. But they don't have your account on there or anything. Everything you do has to be on the app. But I will say that considering the age of the ship, and I know everyone has Starlink, but you're still susceptible to the fundamentals of how the ship is built and all the infrastructure and everything like that.
But they didn't
for the
have-
internet. But it was pretty decent for the
Yeah.
most part.
They didn't have like the extra movie channels. They did show movies on there every day, but not like the whole selection like you see on most of the other cruise lines or some of the newer ships. And the channel selection is very slim, you might say. But that's the channel selection is like that with Carnival in general.
Yes.
There's just not that many channels.
You're right. It is kind of lame. Big G and Shuggle said, cruise question. Are you going to take Lucy on the next cruise to sniff the security dog as someone has to come out and check the checkers?
Oh my God.
I don't think Lucy will know what she's sniffing for, so we might leave her home.
Should just be sniffing for food.
You're exactly right about that. Uh-oh, I got an ad that came up. Right now I have an ad. Let's see what it is.
Too.
It's sponsored by Finding a Money Lender. Did anyone get that same ad, or is that just coming to me? I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Oh, mine is travel insurance that I'm getting. So I guess
Sharon,
we're all getting different
Is it
ads.
time to get some travel insurance? Maybe we need a little travel insurance. Maybe that's what it's time
We just got travel insurance.
all right, let's see. What else do we have? Roger says we spent more money in drinks than if we had bought the drink package.
Oh, really? Oh, my goodness.
Ooh, Wendy, I don't want to say who's to blame for that, but I think we know, don't we? You're probably to blame for that. Linda Land, what's going on? Nice to see you. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Let's see. What else do we have? Diana Grappa, nice to see you in here too. Pam S, hello. All right, let me get to the bottom of the chat here, Sharon. I know it's been an hour, and usually we go a little longer, but Sharon does have a handful, and I mean a handful of things, phone calls and such that she's catching up on. Crazy Cat Traveler is a very important question, though. How did the Chargers do in the draft? Still mourning that my quarterback went to Cleveland. Chargers did very, very well, stocked up on offense. It's going to be our Super Bowl this year. I'm just going to leave it at that. Yes, the Midnight Pizza is just sitting out, not being made fresh like Pizza Pirate. You're right about that. And Sharon, did you find any pineapple for your pizza? Said Richard Van and Aaron.
No, I didn't. I only had pizza once, and it was pepperoni.
Yeah.
Oh. I really wasn't looking for pineapple pizza, but I didn't have any.
So Tweety says, speaking of pizza, did you prefer the Lido or Deck 9 on Sun Princess? I'm the Princess Pizza. I'm all over that.
Yeah.
I'm telling you that is better than Carnival's Pizza in my honest opinion.
Oh yeah. Princess Pizza was better.
There you go. Beth said that she loved the pizza on the horizon here recently, probably on the Coop Cruise that she's talking about. So that sounds like a good time. Trying with the right said my dad did kind of partial hip replacement this past week. Listen, everyone's doing it. It's a
Like
cool
a
thing to do. Either that or we have we're all old over here following Sharon to see travel, aren't we? We're a bunch of old parts. Jamie, was this your first 5-day cruise? No, we've had a handful of them. Had a handful of them.
Not really.
We've had a couple.
We've had a couple.
A couple is a handful. I think that qualifies. Thoughts on the Mardi Gras? I have an upcoming cruise in July. I said Lassie Letson.
The Mardi Gras.
Love the Mardi Gras.
Right. I mean, it's a beautiful new ship. There's lots to do. The entertainment's great. I mean, I think you'll have a great time. It's big. I mean, it's a big ship, and there's going to be a lot of people, especially in July.
Yes.
You said July. It's going to be packed. Sold out probably.
Get to the center stage area very early to get really good seats for whatever show you want. Make sure you pay attention to the fun times, whether it's on your phone, make a note of it, or whether it's on a paper, so you don't miss anything. Make sure you go to the back. I think it's like deck 8 probably, where the Guy's Pig and Anchor Brewhouse is.
You can go outside.
And the area outside has a nice pool, and that's a great hangout. And all the best bourbon and all the best selection, I believe, on Carnival is usually found at any Guy's Pig and Anchor, any brew house, something like that. Because Guy Fieri says, I want the good stuff in my bar, and if they're running low on it, it's going to go to his bar and not the other one.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Just get to places a little early, but you'll have a great time.
There you go. Jan Rule says, I love Princess Room Service Pizza. It costs money, but it's worth it. We got room service. Actually, we had a good room service experience on Carnival, didn't we, on this ship? I got room service one night. It came quick, and it was really good.
Oh, yeah, you did.
You got a little late night Caesar salad and a quesadilla.
And we got breakfast, or just like the early morning breakfast, coffee and like, I don't know, muffins and some stuff.
Yes.
A couple days. Yeah.
That's right. That is right.
It was okay. I mean, it's just typical carnival stuff.
Yes. Larry Bum, I think he's replying to Nancy, saying that he can't wait to hear about her weekend. Yeah, make sure that if you want to know all about Nancy marrying off her one and only Eddie,
Yeah.
her little baby boy.
Yeah. The pictures I
got
saw
married.
looked beautiful. All the
Yes.
girls in their blue dresses. It was just looked
I
gorgeous.
have a feeling
And-
it might be a hot topic tomorrow night.
And he's
at
got a
10
beautiful
Eastern
bride
on
as
Nancy's
well.
live stream, so go check that out. Make sure that you check that out. Kimberly Bigger said, I got all my 15 in one day at the Pig and Anchor on Horizon. Yeah, see, they got the good stuff there. I can't complain. I mean, I had Buffalo Trace every day on that cruise. Every bar had it, so that was still really good. Question, should you still tip on NCL if you prepay your gratuities? What's your opinion? Said Bridget Brooks. That's a great question, and I have some great tipping info I got on this cruise too.
I don't, it's not necessary if you've prepaid your gratuities to tip. It's really kind of a personal preference, I think. I look at it as if someone kind of stands out or goes out of their way a little bit or just gives you really good service, it's nice to give them a couple extra dollars.
Yes.
But it's not necessary. It's not like, don't feel obligated to do that, you know. But that's my opinion. And I know you got some advice, wasn't it, from some of the crew?
I did. Well, really quick on that question, really quick, is just, you know, listen, the cabin steward's supposed to come by your cabin and tidy it up for you, right? That's standard. That's what they do. That's what you already tip for. If they do anything extra, if they're great with the ice, if they go out of their way to clean, if they do some unique times for you where you're like, hey man, I know you clean in the morning, but I'm going to be in here in the morning. Can you come back later? You know, if you do some of that stuff and they go out of their way, that's a great time to throw them an extra couple bucks, even if it's 20 extra bucks or 40 extra bucks on the last morning. Nothing wrong with that. And in the dining room, yes, if they step up, if they have your drink there every night, if they get your appetizer order every night, they're just doing great things with the service. Nothing wrong with throwing them a couple extra bucks too. And the one thing that I did learn, hold on, I'm sorry, I got a little something in my eye here. I think my eye fell out. Sharon, am I okay?
Oh my God.
Sorry. One thing I learned, and I asked this on the bartender. So I had the drink package, and quite often when I would get a drink, even though the gratuities are prepaid in the drink package, right? So they bring up your drink, then it shows a total of 0, and they have you sign it. But there is a place to leave an extra tip if you want. That's just part of their receipt. It's just standard on the receipt. So, and Carnival has you sign it because they are tracking your 15 drinks, and they need to have proof so you can't argue it later. That's the good and the bad of it. But I asked the guy because I had given the guy $1 when I got a drink, but then I also wrote in an extra $1 for a drink as well. And so I said, hey man, can you tell me what is the difference? Is there one better than the other? Do you prefer cash as $1 so you can put it in your pocket? And do you split the tips if you write in $1 on the receipt? And he said, no man, either way is exactly the same. He said, whoever's name wrote out the ticket for the drink, if you write in a tip on that, it goes directly to that person. The same way as if you give them $1 or a $5 bill to tip, it goes directly to them. He said that they don't have any group tipping or anything when it comes to that, especially at the bar. And he said, and because of the fact that they don't pay taxes in the traditional fashion on those tips, then they end up getting the same amount anyway. So if any of you have that question, and I've never really been sure of that, and but I mean, I got no reason not to believe everything this dude told me, and that's the scoop. So whether you write it in, whether you tip it in cash, same amount to the same person.
I would assume the cruise lines work pretty similar, like in that way. I know that he's talking about Norwegian, but he's asking about, I think, extra.
So Tweety said, I'm shocked to hear the bartender receives digital tips in full. That's what he told me. He said he gets that full amount. Whoever's name is on the top of the ticket, that's who that tip goes to.
And different cruise lines may work that a little bit differently because, I mean, Carnival, they do write everything in. They do the receipts. Mm-hmm. Other cruise lines, they don't give you receipts to sign and things. So maybe they keep track of things a little differently, and maybe they don't get everything all the time. But
I don't want to brag, but
I don't know.
Bridget came back and said, amazing information, exactly what I was looking for. Thank you so much. Bridget, listen, that's why going forward, I'm going to need to request that you book and you need to contact Sharon for all of your cruises and make sure that you book with Sharon. I haven't even done any cheap promotion the entire time yet today. This is an outrage. I got to do it right now. Guys, remember, hey, if you want to go with what I think is the best in the business to book your cruises, extreme knowledge, thousands of cruises booked, knows every cruise line inside and out, whether it's the behind-the-scenes struggles at Royal Caribbean, whether it's a smooth sailing with NCL, whether it's everything in the middle with any other cruise line, MSC, Princess, Holland America, all of them, every cruise line from any port, anywhere, traveling to any destination, just email Sharon, get in contact with her, and I know for a fact she's going to have a lot of free time on her hand next week because I am going to be on a cruise without her, with a couple of dudes or a couple of bros, I should say, and so I'm going to be out, and Sharon's going to be.
Sure, I'll find things to keep me busy.
You're going to be you're going to be looking for things to do, and nothing would be better than to keep Sharon busy by emailing her right there, sharonatsea@gmail.com, and doing that. And if you're thinking to yourself, well, Jamie, what cruise should I be booking while you're away? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, one great cruise of the book would be the 2026 Jimmy Jamboree, one for the boys group cruise. That's right, 3 nights from Miami, Great Syrup Cay and Nassau. And I know Nassau is kind of like, whatever. I get it. But Great Syrup Cay, by the time this cruise sails, we'll have the new pool, pool put in, and they should already have the new dock as well, so it won't be a tender port anymore, knock on wood, and it's going to be amazing. And, of course, included in your price is going to be a specialty dining. The drinks are going to be included in what you pay and all that good stuff. So it's one for the boys. They got solo cabins, solo balconies. Come as a pair, get your own interior, do whatever you want to do. And contact Sharon for information, rates, price discounts, and I believe there's onboard credit as well for that.
$100.
$100 per cabin onboard credit for you to spend on whatever you want. And maybe you're just paying the tips. Maybe you just want to buy drinks, whatever you want to do with it. So make sure you check that out.
You have the drink package, so I don't know if I buy drink.
I mean, maybe just more drinks for me. I don't know. I mean, whatever they want to do is fine with me. And of course,
unlimited drinks. There's no limits.
Don't forget the 9-day Greek Isle from Rome to Istanbul. This cruise is going to be off the chisel.
And
Norwegian Viva. Oh God, it's insane.
The prices weren't too bad initially for this cruise, considering the whole itinerary. Although they have been starting to go up. Last time when I requested more cabin space, they did go up, and I did have to request more today, and they went up by about $200 per cabin for just about every.
That's not good, Sharon.
Every category. So they are going to continue to go up as it sells out.
Do you do WindStar bookings? Can you book WindStar?
Yeah, I have before.
So Tweety, make it happen. So Tweety had that question. Excellent question. Also, don't forget, if you want to just. Let's say the boys' cruise isn't your cruise because you're a girl. Well, then you can go on the girls' cruise. The group cruise number 2, hosted by Sharon and nautical nurse Nancy. The girls just want to have fun. 2.0 Carnival Freedom, October 16 to 20. Cabins still available. Half Moon Cay and guys, Celebration Key.
And that one, the cabins are becoming more limited on this cruise.
That's right. That is right. And, of course, if you're not on the Aqua this year, get on the Encore from Los Angeles next year, Norwegian Encore. I am known to say that Norwegian Encore is my favorite Norwegian ship. I think it's yours, too.
That's mine, too.
That's right. December 27, 2026, 7 days from L.A. It's going to be fabulous. We're going to eat street tacos in Ensenada until we can't eat street tacos anymore.
I won't be eating any street tacos.
Okay, maybe I shouldn't either. Maybe that's the worst decision we can have.
After last time, I wouldn't suggest you do it either.
Maybe that's a terrible decision. I'm not sure. I love the street tacos. Let's see. Heidi said that's not what the bartender told us the last time, but that was 2023. Heidi, all I'm telling you is exactly what that dude told me. So that's all I can go on. I was told the same thing once about tipping cash or the receipt, so glad to hear you got the same answer. Okay, Eric Granger backed it up. So there you go. Sharon is the best at Wendy Johnstone. Oh, Wendy. Great advice, Jamie. Sharon will get it done and with a nice smile. Oh, Joe Staccato, you are absolutely right. Thank you about that, Joe. Thank you for saying that. Did someone say off the chisel? No one actually said that. So tell off the chisel he can go away now. Sugar, can't wait for the group cruise. Another question from Bridget. Speaking of the NCL dock, going to Great Syrup Cay on the Premium in February. I think it'll be docked part by that time. It should be. The dock should be done by the end of this year. knock on wood, that's what the plan is.
Yeah.
And they want to have the pool installed as well by the end of this year. So let's just hope it's there.
Yeah.
Jamie, how many Bros cruises have you done now? Said Nancy. Nancy, the Bros cruise, this is only my second. I think it's the fourth Bros cruise, but this one's only my second one. And of course, then the Jimmy Jamboree will be a cruise of Bros, but it's a one for the boys, so a little bit of a different deal there. But just the two of them, just the two. This will be just number 2. So we'll see. And Jamie unsupervised again. What could go wrong? Listen, nothing will go wrong because the last time I did a Bros cruise, I was 30 days outside of my hernia abdominal surgery. I was on my best behavior. And of course, this one I can't walk more than 2 miles an hour, and I have some limitations. So I don't think every time I get in a situation to really, really, really make bad decisions, there's something holding me back. You know what I mean?
Oh wow.
You know what I mean? How many stories do you have tucked away from those by now, Nancy? I don't have too many stories tucked away. I'm pretty well behaved. I just gamble a lot, and that kind of stuff. What I do is that the only difference between cruising with the guys and cruising with Sharon is when I get ready for dinner.
You don't. Oh.
I can go down and have a drink before dinner. I don't have to wait for Sharon to go to the diner.
I was also going to say you don't have to shower before you go to bed.
And if I have a cigar, I don't get yelled at, and I'm not made to put my clothes on the balcony and then shower before.
Because I always make him shower before he goes to bed if he has a cigar, because I don't want to smell it.
Yes.
So.
Kimberly Baker said, I can be your male orderly and push your wheelchair. I don't know what I mean. And Beauty and the Bum Travels. This is the most worryful thing for Sharon, Larry. No worries, I'll make sure Jamie behaves. So who's babysitting Trevor on Bromania? I don't know who's babysitting here. Bridget says your hair looks amazing, by the way. So there you go.
Well,
all right, listen, you guys have been great tonight. So there you go. We talked a little bit about the elation. We've got some videos coming out, and I think some embarkation might be around tomorrow or early the next morning, and a couple other things. We've got a couple likes and dislikes and a few things like that. And then I'm going to try to do a little vlogging on Mariner of the Seas, and we'll see how that turns out. Maybe people would love Jamie's solo vlog. Do you guys want to see my solo vlogs? Do you have any interest in that? I mean, if Sharon's not in a video, would you even watch it? Would you consider watching it? Let me know before we get out of here.
Of course they would.
So I know. What do you want to do? You want to see a bar crawl? Do you want to see Embarkation Day? Do you want to see Paradise Beach Club?
I don't know if the bar crawl would ever get finished.
Do you want to see me going? You're probably right. Do you want to see me going back to Crazy Lobster? Because last time I was there, it was horrible.
Yeah.
But this time, allegedly, it can be better. So we'll see. I'm not quite sure. Wendy said yes, of course. All right. Well, that's nice, Wendy. I appreciate that. All right, Sharon. What else? Did we miss anything? Is there anything else that we have not covered yet? I can go back in the chat and look at any late comments about anything you guys want to see on the vlog. So I want to see proof that John has flights booked both ways. I can't even confirm that for you, to be honest with the Crazy Cat Traveler. Will we have a show Wednesday? Lindy Lou, I'm not sure. I think there will be. I think John will have one. If you post it, we will watch. Thank you, Shayna. I want to see your face when you open the cabin door and the beds are together. Oh my gosh, you guys! If you don't know, I do have a roommate for my cruise next week, and I will be staying in the same room with the one and only Larry Bum from Beauty and the Bum Travels. So that'll be I don't know what that'll be, but I'll tell you what's a good thing though. Larry is this will be my second time rooming with Larry. Real quick, I know it's the end of the show, so we're just wrapping up, but it'll be my second time rooming with Larry, and he is a Diamond Plus on Royal, the highest level. So, you get to go to the Diamond Club as a roommate with him and stuff, so that's kind of cool. And you get on the ship a little early, whatever. But he's actually doing a back-to-back. He's going to be on the ship already when I get on the ship next week on Monday morning. So when I get on the ship, whatever the time is, and I have early time, I go right to my cabin and drop all my stuff, literally, because he's going to be in there waiting for me. But he did promise to make sure the beds have been separated, because the week before they'll probably be together, and then we need to get them separated because he's very nice. He's a sweet, sweet man, but I will not spoon him, nor will I rub his shoulders to go to bed or anything like that. I'm just saying. Show us those sexy CPAPs. No sleep apnea is great. Not an answer. Larry wants to cuddle. I don't know about that. Don't supervise Jamie vlogs? Yes, please. Jose, they will not be anything of what you want them to be, my friend. I can tell you that. I can tell you that. So that'll be great. All right, listen, you guys have been great. Thank you so much for joining us here on another Monday. And thanks for following the channel. If you haven't done it yet, make sure you subscribe. Email Sharon to book any cruise. Ask a question about booking a cruise. Please, please. And until next time, from all of us here to all of you, from me, Sharon, Matthew, Callie, Lucy, from Leanne Francisconi and Nautical Nurse Nancy, always here to help out. We love you, ladies. Thanks for always being there for us. Take it.
Good night, everyone. And you're going to be gone next Monday. We will see you in 2 weeks on May 19th. We'll be back.
May 19th? That's the hot date?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do an impromptu live stream from the cruise ship. Maybe that'd be the worst idea I could ever have. You never know. We'll see what happens. We'll see. All right, listen, you guys are great. We love you. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again. And yes, here comes your favorite song.